This is the Last 10 Podcast with Brenda Lomelli, episode 95.
You're killing it in your business and career. You're growing professionally and personally. You're smashing through your goals. But those weight loss goals are a whole different story. This is the Last 10 Podcast, a show to help you lose that last 10 pounds and stay at your ideal weight for good. Balancing all aspects of professional and personal life is tough, but here you're putting yourself at the number one priority. Here's your host, a lady boss and nutritionist who prides herself on working with the unstoppable woman, Brenda Lomelli.
Hey, gorgeous. Happy Monday and welcome back to the podcast. All right, my friends, this is going to be such a good episode. It's going to be such a powerful episode. Make sure that you listen to this one all the way until the end. Now, one of the biggest things and frustrations about losing weight and weight loss is that women really feel like it's such a struggle, and it's such a struggle that just continues. And you're frustrated. You keep getting the same results that you're not wanting, etc. Today, I'm going to talk about the top number one thing that perpetuates the struggle. Are you ready to learn that? Because really, it's the number one thing. So if you can address this and if you can change this one thing that I'm going to talk about, this one thing is so powerful, it literally perpetuates the struggle. So what is the one thing that I'm talking about? I'm talking about delay. Delay is the number one thing that perpetuates the struggle, the ongoing, seemingly eternal weight struggle. For so many women, it's been a struggle of 10 years, 20 years. Maybe for you, it's 3 years or 5 years. And I'm really going to talk in detail, what does delay sound like on a day-to-day basis? What does it sound like on a week-to-week basis? Because so many of you are going to relate to this so much. All right, let's talk about delay. What is delay? What does it mean to delay? And what does delay sound like? And also, why do we delay? Now, before you think maybe this episode is not for me, I don't know if I'm really interested in this, really, I want you to listen, because you may not think that you delay, but if you have not been getting the results that you are wanting, I would be willing to put some significant amount of money that you are delaying. And I want to really make super clear for you what that looks like. What does that sound like in your head? What does that look like in your choices, in your habits, and why we do it and how to change it? So stay tuned. Do not change the channel. Make sure you listen. So the first thing that I want to do is really just share the definition. What does it mean to delay? All right, here are two simple but pretty clear definitions. The first one that I found is delay means, and it is a verb, so it's something that you do. Delay means to make something late or slow. The second definition that I found that I think is really clear and really useful to just think about it this way: a period of time by which something is late or postponed. So a period of time by which something is late or postponed. All right, now let's talk about, what does this sound like? What does this look like? Delay can happen for you. Actually, I'm going to reword that, but it doesn't. Actually, I'm going to reword that because it doesn't happen for you. You choose to delay. To delay is a choice. All right, this is one of the big ones. Have you ever thought to yourself, all right, I will start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow, right? So maybe it is Tuesday night and you had a plan to make a roasted chicken with veggies for you and your family, but you're thinking, oh, it was such a long day. And your kids are like, Mom, can we order a pizza? And then in your head, you think, all right, okay, we're going to order the pizza. It's been a long day. I will start tomorrow. I'll really start tomorrow. I'll be really committed tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be really good. Now, if at any point for you, one of the reasons that you don't make the choice now to eat in a way that's going to support your goals that you are wanting for yourself, the outcome that you want for yourself, if it involves the word tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do better tomorrow. I'll really be perfect tomorrow. I'll be really committed tomorrow. Okay, I'll start fresh tomorrow. If it involves the word tomorrow when you're thinking about it, you are delaying. And what I really want to make super clear for you is that delay perpetuates the struggle. So, this happens so often. And by the way, if you are new to the podcast, welcome. Something really fun is that my listenership for the podcast has about doubled in the past month or so, which is really fun. So welcome. I just want to welcome you. And one thing I want to say, if you have not listened, if you are new and you have not listened to my client success stories, definitely make sure to go and do that. I have about 18 interviews with different clients, all kinds of ranges and all over the spectrum of lifestyle and ages and everything that have gone through my program. And the reason I'm mentioning that now is because I think anyone who's ever gone through my program or my clients when they go through my program are so amazed that they will have struggled for their weight for years, decades. Like you can listen to a lot of those interviews. They'll have struggled for 20 years, 30 years, or maybe even more. And then all of a sudden they get signed up for my program and they really make this commitment and they really have all the support and the structure and the tools that they've been missing all along. And one important thing, they stop delaying. And in a matter of 16 weeks, they will have changed completely their results. Now, this year, as of 2019, I have expanded my program. Instead of 16 weeks, it is now 20 weeks. So, honestly, if you have listened to these client success stories and you hear all the amazingness that happens in their results and in their relationship with food and eating and how they really are able to end their struggle, my program is even better this year. I have dialed it in even more. I have expanded it. I've enriched it. It is better than ever. So if you've been curious about even just getting more information about getting started in my program, this is the time. Like it is better than ever. So it is amazing what happens when they stop delaying. And when you continue to delay, and here's the thing, it sounds so innocent, right? I'll start tomorrow. And I really want to dial into this tomorrow thing because this can happen on a day-to-day basis. I really want you to see how this perpetuates your struggle. So that's the whole topic of this podcast is delay is what perpetuates the struggle. Delay is what perpetuates your struggle. And it happens on a daily basis. And on a daily basis, it really sounds like tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll eat perfect. Tomorrow I'll get started. Tomorrow I'll start fresh. Okay, tomorrow I'm really going to commit. But what that does, it's not really ever the truth because then tomorrow comes, right? So let's say it's Tuesday and you're telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start Wednesday. Then Wednesday comes and then guess what you're going to more than likely tell yourself again, I'll start tomorrow. That's what it sounds like on a day-to-day basis. And for everyone, it sounds a little bit different. For some people, it might have a little bit of but I deserve a treat today. It was a really hard day. It was really stressful. The kids did this. My boss said this. All right. I deserve a treat. I'll start tomorrow. Because it usually is paired along with some reason that really for us makes it sound so valid for why we're going to not start today and we're going to start tomorrow. But the truth of what it is that you're not being committed today. And so then what you're doing there is you're simply reinforcing this habit of delay. And when you get really good at delaying every day over and over, you will just continue to delay always, always, always. And then you perpetuate your struggle. And the thing you're not getting good at is being consistent and being committed and following through. So, delay is the number one thing that will keep you perpetuating your own weight loss struggle. And it will keep you stuck there for years, for decades. It for sure did for me. And like I've shared, for so many of my clients that have gone to my program, one of the main differences is they had always delayed. And then they really made this decision, no more. This is it. And they stopped delaying. All right, now let's talk about what it sounds like on a weekly basis, because the daily delay is very important, the day-to-day delay. I'll give another sort of daily example of delay. Let's say you're at work and you have so much documentation, you have so much paperwork, or it's been a day where there's a lot of putting out fires at the office and you just feel like there's a lot happening. And you think to yourself, okay, I wasn't going to snack, but today's been like a rough day, so I'll start with the no snacking tomorrow. Again, if it involves the word tomorrow, you are delaying. You are choosing to delay. Delay is a choice. And really what delay is you not being committed now. You not making the choice now that will support your goals and just putting it off. And when you put it off, this is so true what I'm about to say. Later usually becomes never. Later usually becomes never. And the time where change happens and where we take actions that create our results is now. You hear kind of those quotes and cliche, tomorrow never comes. The only moment you really have is this moment right now, right? This is the present is the only moment you have. That is, cliche and kind of common that it is to hear that. It really is very true. And it also applies to your weight loss because it is very true. This is the only moment in which you can make a decision is now, in which you can take action now. So what the truth really is that it's the actions you take now that will create your results tomorrow. So yes, when you delay, when you perpetuate with this day-to-day sort of, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start not snacking tomorrow, I'll start not having sugar tomorrow, I will start not, eating cookies after dinner tomorrow, I'll start not having a glass of wine tomorrow because today has been a long day or it's been a hard day. We give ourselves so many reasons that really validate for ourselves why, it's justified. That's what that sounds like on a day-to-day basis. And think about what does it sound like for you? And I want to spend this entire episode talking about how we delay and what that sounds like in our heads. Because when I talk about it so specifically, you're going to start to notice, oh yeah, I have that thought a lot. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do better tomorrow. I'll start perfect tomorrow. It sounds nice, right? Oh, I'll start perfect tomorrow. Okay, now let's move on to this weekly delay. And this is so common. And I will say this one creates a lot of frustration for so many women. And it seems like it should work, but it's just exhausting. And this is one of the ones that I'm going to go back to this daily delay just for a second. If you're new to the podcast, you may or may not have heard me talking about my old popcorn eating habit in the evening. But if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you are very familiar with this. For a very long time, I had the daily habit of eating popcorn, several bowls of popcorn every evening. For me, that was a perfect example of daily delay. Each day, I would tell myself, okay, each evening, I should say, okay, tomorrow I won't have popcorn. But then I would use that as a reason for why I'm going to have popcorn tonight. And so then the next day would come and guess what? I would tell myself the same thing. Tomorrow I won't have popcorn. But I would use that as a reason to have popcorn now, to not be committed now, to not take the action now that I needed to take to create the result that I want, and just perpetuate the struggle. So I really want to paint that clear picture for you. All right, now let's talk about the weekly situation. So many women do this, and I would do this as well. So let's say it's Thursday or even Friday or even Saturday, and I'm just going to use this example again. The kids are like, let's order pizza, or your friends are like, let's have drinks. Come on, just like relax, have a good time. And you think to yourself, okay, I will start Monday. Now I know if I had all of you raise your hand, like, how often do you think this? I'm going to start fresh Monday. I'm going to really be committed Monday. All right, I'm just going to eat this and have these drinks and order this pizza. I'm really, okay, really, I'm going to start on Monday. Like, seriously, Monday's going to be, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to just like be super, super strict, super committed on Monday. This whole idea of all will start on Monday is just a thought that creates the choice of delay. Just like I will start tomorrow is a thought that creates the choice of delay, which is also the choice of not being committed in this moment. And remember, the only moment in which we can create results is right now. Because, right, the choices we make today create our results for tomorrow. So when you get in the habit on the weekends, and it's usually for many people when it comes to this weekly sort of habit, these thoughts start from like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was the case for me. I would really healthy, like Monday through Thursday, maybe sometimes through Friday, but then Friday, Saturday, Sunday became like a free for all. And one of the thoughts that I used as a reason to basically, have tons of drinks during the weekend, order dessert, several desserts, not maybe in one night, but for the weekend, like several desserts, maybe have dessert every night. So drinks, dessert, overeat everything, and still have my bowls of popcorn. And my thought was like, okay, starting Monday, I'm really going to be perfect. I'm really going to do this. But it's such a BS thought. And I really want you to be onto this thought, because all it is a reason you're giving yourself in that moment not to make a decision that's actually going to create what you want. And it just creates delay. You choose delay. And it sounds like I will start on Monday. Okay, I'm going to like enjoy this weekend. I'll start on Monday. So that creates delay. So we've talked about the daily delay and what that can sound like. All right, tomorrow I really won't snack. All right, tomorrow I really won't have this evening glass of wine. You're just putting it off. You're just delaying it. Okay, I'm going to start on Monday. This weekend's my friend's baby shower, or this weekend's my daughter's graduation, or this weekend is like this and that and that. And we have all these reasons why, instead of taking action now, you're going to delay until Monday. But keep noticing this perpetuates the struggle. And it is such a BS thought. Here's why. Because for many of you, as you're listening, and this was the case for me for like 20 years, I'll start Monday turns into 10 years later, you're still stuck in the same place telling yourself you're going to start on Monday. But then Monday comes, and then Monday you tell yourself you're going to start tomorrow. Or that next weekend comes and you tell yourself again that you're going to start on Monday. Now, this one creates a lot of frustration for people, because you tell yourself you're going to start on Monday, and you do. You start on Monday, you have a great breakfast, you have a great lunch, and then you make these great choices that are in total alignment with your goal, maybe Monday through Thursday. But then again, all weekend, you use this idea of I'll start on Monday as a reason not to be consistent and as a reason to overeat, essentially, and to make decisions that are directly in opposition with the result you want to create. And that is a very exhausting cycle. How do I know that? Because I've been there. I was in that cycle for like 20 years. And I think it's really exhausting, that pattern and that cycle, because you are putting in a lot of effort. Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, you are eating really well. You are making really great choices. You're putting attention. You're making it a priority. But then Friday through Sunday, you're using this idea of I'll start on Monday as a reason to totally sabotage, totally overeat, make tons of decisions that are directly in opposition, and just completely nullify anything you did Monday through Thursday. Now, if it sounds like I really understand what you do and how you feel and how you're thinking and what it creates for you and how exhausting it is, it's because I've been there, and I was there for about 2 decades. And now I'm really glad that I've just figured it out. I figured out a system, a way to, manage my own mindset, how to manage like my emotions, how to manage cravings. And I've really created a process to help my clients as well. So that's why I really understand it, because I've been there and I see so many women doing this as well and exhausting themselves. Like this cycle that happens week after week because you're choosing to delay and to use that reason. I will start on Monday. I'll be really committed on Monday. Monday, I'll be perfect, as a reason to completely nullify everything you've done through the weekday all weekend long is just gonna keep you always in the same place. I even had a client, I worked with a client, she went through my program and eventually, she really was able to figure this out and how delay was keeping her perpetually stuck, and really seeing how that habit and that cycle was just not useful for her and it was exhausting. But when we first started working together, it was clear as day. Monday through Thursday would happen and she would see some change in her weight. Like her weight would change and she'd see a drop of like a pound, maybe a pound and a half, maybe even 2 pounds. But then the weekend would come and she would regain that. And then the same thing, Monday through Thursday, she'd see that weight come down, but then Thursday through Sunday, she'd see that weight go up. And here is something really powerful. Really think about this. She could have kept doing that her entire life and perpetuate that struggle and that cycle her entire life. If she continued to use this idea and this reason during the weekend of, I will start on Monday, it sounds nice, right? It like potentially could sound useful. Like, hey, I'll start on Monday. On Monday, it's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to do everything perfect. But again, it's total BS, because then Monday comes and the only habit you've gotten good at is delaying. Anytime that you delay making the choice that's going to support your goals, the skill that you're getting better at is delaying. You're procrastinating. You're putting it off. Remember, let's go back to that definition. What does it mean to delay? It means to postpone. And if you continuously postpone, then that just perpetuates the struggle eternally. It has the potential, the habit of delay, of choosing to delay, has the potential to perpetuate your struggle eternally, like for as long as you are alive. And I'm going to talk about how to change it, so don't worry, but I really want to highlight, what does it sound like to delay on a day-to-day basis, to choose delay, to choose postponing, and what does it sound like on a week-to-week basis? For very many people, it sounds like, I'll start on Monday. It might sound a little bit different for you, but I'm highlighting the most common. I'll start tomorrow, I'll start on Monday. And then there's like the seasonal or monthly delays. Choice of delay. So seasonal, it's kind of perfect. We just passed the holidays. That's a perfect example. I'll start on the new year, right? So that means the entire holiday season, you're using this idea of, I'll start in January or for the new year, and you're using that as a reason to completely overeat and like make decisions that are directly in opposition with what you want to create for the entire holiday season. Sometimes people also do this, like, okay, I'll start on the 1st. I'll start, like, let's say, here's a good example. You may have set a goal for January 1st. Like, all right, I'm really going to start come January 1st. Like, I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to be on my A game. Everything's going to be on point. And then, like, let's say 3 days in, you totally F up. And by F up, I mean like you order the pizza instead of eating the roasted chicken, or you go and have a chocolate bar from the vending machine at your office because it was like a super stressful day and you just feel like you just needed a treat or a distraction. It could look like so many things. So then you think to yourself, all right, well, I already messed up. Okay, this month is really tough. There's so many things going on. I'll just really start in February. So you're probably starting to get the hang of this. If you are telling yourself that you're going to put this decision off of like making food choices in a way that are going to be supportive of your goals, if you're putting that off until some future day, until some future event, whether it's tomorrow or Monday or the first of the next month or the first of the next year, or maybe it could even sound like, well, there's a lot of things coming up. My sister's birthday, my brother's wedding, my husband is celebrating his promotion. I'm going to wait until after those three things, until after those three events to like really get started. If you are making change and really being consistent and following through, if you're putting that off until some future event, then you are choosing delay. You are choosing delay. You are postponing. So you are choosing delay versus taking the actions now that will create the results for you tomorrow. And why does that even matter? Because that will keep you perpetually stuck. And here's the one thing that I want to reiterate again. Whatever we repeat is what we get good at. So whatever, they always say practice makes perfect, right? Whatever we are practicing is what we get good at. If what you're practicing day after day or week after week or kind of throughout the year for different various seasons, if what you're practicing is delay and postponing and procrastinating, then that's what you're going to get good at. And then you're just going to continue doing that. And that's what most people do, which is why most people stay stuck and their struggle continues. You perpetuate your own struggle when you choose to delay. You will change your results when you choose not to delay. When you choose to make that choice you need to make in this moment to create the results tomorrow that you want to have tomorrow. So that's really powerful. You will perpetuate your struggle when you choose to delay. Anytime you choose to delay. Even it might sound like, all right, I will start at my next meal even. Again, anytime that you are putting it off to some future time or some future day or some future event, you are delaying, and delay will continue to perpetuate your struggle. One question that I want you to ask yourself is, how long do I want to perpetuate this struggle for myself? If your answer is that you want to continue to perpetuate your struggle for a couple years, then you are right on track. Continue choosing delay. If you don't want to continue perpetuating the struggle for yourself, if you're over it and you're tired, then that means that you need to really be onto yourself and you need to pay attention next time that you think, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start Monday. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why do we do this? Because I think I've explained pretty thoroughly what it looks like, what it sounds like in your head, what it looks like in your actions. Now, I want to talk about why do we do this? It's very simple. It's kind of like think about, maybe your teenager or your kid has a project, like a science project or a book report, or maybe even think about yourself when you were going through college, right? So I can definitely think about examples of this for myself. You have a project, your kid has a project, or you had some sort of report due. It's more comfortable in the moment to put things off. Like if we think about your teenager or your kid, if you don't have kids or teenagers, you can think about yourself and like going through college and having some sort of big paper due. In the moment, if like you have some sort of projects or some homework to do, in the moment, it's more comfortable to go play the video games or go play outside with your friends instead of doing that work to get that homework done, right? It's just, that's what it is. It's more comfortable to procrastinate and to delay, but it's only more comfortable in that moment. I definitely remember, I have this really clear example. When I was going through my undergraduate program at Arizona State University, I don't remember what class it was, but I remember there was a class that I had where they assigned us at the very beginning of the semester this big paper. It was going to be like a 30-page paper that we needed to write. Maybe even more than that, but it was like a long paper. It wasn't like your, 5-page essay or anything. I think it was like 30 pages, and we had the entire semester to work on it. Now, I did not have these thought management, emotional management tools that I teach here on the podcast or that I teach my clients. I did not have these tools yet at that point. This was a pretty long time ago. So, I just put it off all semester until the night before it was due. It was kind of crazy. Like, I would never do that now. Just would not do that, because I would just imagine like how painful that would be to sit down and write down all those pages and pages of a certain topic that I didn't even research. I didn't do a single thing that I needed to do for that paper until the day before. I spent the entire night up. I spent the entire day before working on that paper. I was awake all night. Like, I didn't even sleep 1 minute. It was awful. I barely got it done, like the bare minimum. And I did not get a good grade. Like, I barely passed. I can't remember the exact grade I got. I'm pretty sure I got like a C on it. But procrastination feels easy in that moment. It's kind of like instant gratification, right? It only feels easy in that moment. It feels comfortable in that moment. But in the big picture of what you want, like in that case of that paper, it would have made so much more sense if I would have thought about the big picture, right? The big picture is like, I want to not be stressed out the night before. I don't want to feel awful, feel like crap, spend all night at the computer center and be writing this paper and like maybe even not pass my class. Thankfully, I did pass, but the only reason we do that we procrastinate, is because in the moment, in that moment, that present moment, it feels easy not to take that action and to just postpone it. But it just is not a good idea. And like I said, it continues to develop. The only skill it's going to develop for you is the skill of postponing and procrastinating and never being done with achieving this result for yourself. The only reason I don't like that book report example is because I actually did get it done. It was just like super poor quality. Well, I guess that still does relate to weight loss, especially the last 10 pounds, because when it comes to the last 10 pounds, you might be getting some results, but maybe not the results that you want. I definitely didn't with that paper. I mean, I honestly think I barely passed it, and the experience was awful as well, by the way. So what people do sometimes is they delay. They're not consistent. And then, like, let's say there's a vacation or a holiday coming up and they're like, oh my gosh, now I'm really going to do it because I really need to be ready for that bathing suit. And they try to cram in the healthy choices 2 weeks before, but there's no way. There's not enough time. It takes time. Our bodies need time to lose the weight they're going to lose. So that's the only reason why this analogy here about the book report just doesn't even do this example justice and what I'm teaching you here, because there was some way for me to kind of cram in and type out a bunch of letters. But when it comes to our body losing weight, can't really cheat the system. You need to be consistent. It needs to be consistency. That consistency needs to happen over an extended period of time for you to see the results you want to see. You can't cram it in. You can't cheat it. You can't overnight it. So as long as you continue to delay it, you just will never create the result that you want. So I want you to ask yourself that question. How long do I want to continue to delay? Another thing for you to ask yourself, how often do I choose delay, and do I use this idea or this thinking of I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start Monday, or I'll start the 1st of January, or I'll start after these couple events that are coming up? How often do you tell yourself that you will start at some future time or event and use that as a reason to not be consistent and not be committed to what you want to create for yourself now? And because really, remember, this is so important. The only time where we have the opportunity to create our results is now. So if you keep telling yourself you're going to do it later, you're going to do it tomorrow, you'll do it at the beginning of next month, you're never taking that opportunity to create the results you want. In the only moment that we have to create it, which is now, that's the only moment we can make decisions and take actions to create our results for tomorrow. So that's why we do it. It's just only because in the moment it feels more comfortable, it feels easier. The other reason we do it is because we're used to it. And I kind of talked about that earlier as well, right? Repetition, anything that we repeat and whatever we practice is what we get good at. So if you've been someone who's been a delayer, who's had the habit of delaying, then it's what feels familiar to you. Like you delay, delay, delay. So if you want to change that habit of delaying, of telling yourself you're going to start tomorrow, of telling yourself you're going to start Monday or next month, then you're going to have to be very deliberate about making this decision. Okay, I am no longer going to delay. Because here's another thing that I want you to take from this podcast episode. Change requires change. If you're constantly delaying making change, you will not create change. So I'll say that one more time. Change requires change. And this is one of the things that's so simple, and yet many people don't do it. So many women, and I was in this place as well for a very long time, I wanted the results, but I wasn't willing to make the change. I wasn't willing to sit on my couch in the evenings and not have a snack. So then I would delay because I wasn't willing to make the change. I see this so much. I can't tell you how many of you, will sign up for a strategy session with me, get on the call, and you're excited because you want the results that you've heard all my clients be able to create and that you've seen that I've been able to create, where we've ended our weight struggle. Like, it is done. Life now exists without this problem and with amazing results that we love, feel great in your body, et cetera, et cetera. But then we're talking and you're not willing to make change, and change requires change. Also, actually, this reminds me of what else delay can sound like. So very often I will be on a call with someone who is like, I know that if they just get started in my program, get the right support, get the right tools in their hand, learn the strategies really that they need to do, and have that support and accountability, I know they will be done with this. And they're saying that they're committed. They're saying that that it's important. But then the reasons that they use not to get started or not to make that commitment is, I can't afford it right now. There's too much going on right now. We're doing house renovations right now. My son's going off to college next month. I have a family wedding this year. Or, well, I'm not sure. There's a lot going on. All of those things are just reasons for why they're not taking action now. And remember, change requires change. So action needs to be taken in order to create change. Those are all the reasons they're using to delay, to postpone. Delaying and postponing will not create anything different for you. All it will do is perpetuate the cycle. It will perpetuate the struggle and potentially ongoing without an end. Okay, so here is like my $1 million question for this podcast episode. Are you ready and willing to stop choosing delay for the sake of just that moment being more comfortable and more easy for you, even though you know that it will continue to keep you stuck in the same place? So are you willing to stop choosing delay in the moment? Now you might ask, what is the alternative, Brenda? What is the alternative to I'll start tomorrow? What is the alternative to I'll start Monday? What is the alternative to I'll start next month? What is the alternative to, okay, I really want to do this, but I can't do it now. There's this happening and I don't think I can afford it. We're renovating the house. The alternative is, I'm doing this now. I'm choosing this now. I'm making this choice now, even though it might require a little bit more effort and it might be slightly uncomfortable because it's not what I'm used to doing. It's not my habit, but I'm doing this now because I'm really committed to ending this struggle for myself. I deserve to not be stuck perpetually in this struggle. And being uncomfortable just for a minute and being committed in that present moment will create the results that you want tomorrow. When you choose change, you will create change. When you choose change over delay, when you choose change now, right now in this moment, you will create change. Now, today, this week, this month, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. It is powerful. It really is very empowering as well. If you can hear it, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next week, I'll start next Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start when there's not this and that going on, when we're not renovating the house, where things are easy. Like a lot of those things will never come, because when they come, you'll just be in the habit of saying again, I'll start later, right? That's what you're getting really good at. The alternative is, I am doing this now. I'm doing this today. Even though it's been a long day, even though the kids are asking for pizza, you know what? I'll order them pizza, but I'm going to order myself an Italian antipasto salad because I am creating change now. So I would say the opposite or the alternative is create change now. Make that choice now. That's going to create the results that you want tomorrow, instead of waiting for tomorrow, because then you'll never create anything. You'll never create any change. All right, my friends, I know that was powerful. Like here's one thing. If you're listening and you might think like, yeah, oh my gosh, this is so good. Don't just be a passive consumer and listener. Really take this and apply it. Next time you're thinking, I'll start tomorrow, really call out yourself on that and be like, that's BS. I'm not going to start tomorrow. I need to start right now. I need to take action now. Change is happening now. So be on to yourself. Pay attention. All right, my friends, have an amazing, amazing week. I'm always happy to share with you insights and strategies that I know are going to equip you, empower you to really end your struggle with your weight, finally get to a weight that you love, that you've been wanting to be at. It is absolutely 100% possible. If you feel like you need more support and if you would like to work with me directly, it is possible, and I would love to support you. This is just something that I love to do, and I am so confident that we really can get this handled, get you the support you need, and get you to your goal. If you are wanting more support, all you need to do is go to brendalomelli.com and go to the Work With Me section on my website and schedule to have a call with me. Another way that you can schedule that call with me is by going to the podcast description. And I always have the link there so that you can schedule a call. And then the third option is you can send me an email, brenda@brendalomelli.com, and just say, hey, Brenda, I'm so ready to have that talk with you, schedule that strategy session so that we can talk about my goals, what I'm struggling with, and to see if maybe your coaching program is the perfect match for me, because I'm so ready to stop delaying and I'm ready to take action now. All right, my friends, bye.
This has been the Last 10 Podcast. Now we know when you take the best care of yourself and feel amazing at your ideal weight, you'll give nothing but your best. Maximize your creativity, have mental clarity, and show up with true boss confidence in your business and career. Get your free guide on how to lose the final 10 at www.brendalomelli.com.